Yeah, so looking at the standings, obviously you could see how the top is pretty much solidified. I think you have Faze, Optic, and I mean even like Seattle, I would say is pretty much guaranteed. From there, like that 4th to like 9th, 10th spot, there's so many teams that are in about like a 30, 40 point contention, and if you bomb out like and just have like a 1-4 performance in these qualifiers, I mean, you could potentially go from 4th to 10th place. And going to that first match versus Toronto is going to be extremely big. We come out and beat Toronto. We're only 5 points away from 5th place from 7. So, like, every win could bump you up 2 or 3 spots. A loss could even bump you down 2 spots and put you in, like, that 9th spot. And it can get extremely dangerous pretty quickly. And at the end of the day, it just seems like with the standings and the qualifiers, you kind of control your fate. If you obviously have a great qualifier performance and going to like the major in a winner's bracket opportunity or just have a great major, you could easily solidify your spot. These standings are extremely close. You have Florida and Minnesota pretty much on the edge of that 8th spot, but from like 5th to like 10th, anything can happen. And like I said, all these qualifier matches are going to be extremely like you want to be watching them, because every loss, every win can actually change a team from like going to champs or not. Winning Major 2 for us is actually extremely important, and it was very impactful because without that major, we'd probably be in that 9th, 10th spot with Florida and Minnesota, and it's going to be a pretty wild. And I think, like I said, how we look at it is we control our own fate. And going to these qualifier matches, we're just going to give everything we can because we know what's on the line and we want to prove to everyone that we can actually do it.
Perfect. All right. That's good. Thanks, good.
You see just the positioning really from LAG. They're aware of what Toronto's strong suit is on this map. However, Kleenex able to strike again. Another first blood. They're out of the Great Dane, quite literally being an issue, and Insight does spot Slasher going for the cross at A. Toronto with numbers. And Spart eager to find and win with the sniper himself.
50 seconds to work with. Hoop does at least even up the numbers for now. Makes it a 3v3.
Oh,
unfortunately, Smart does not hit the quick scope. On to Bance. So now with 40 seconds left, Bance is going to push right across.
Oh my! What? What? What was that?
A no scope?
Insight 1v2. We gotta focus up after what was one of the craziest shots we have seen this season.
Yep. Yeah, I got all over mid.
You
guys can split bombs in a second. Check.
He busted top secret.
Watch out, then.
Let's go, boys.
Come on.
Let's go. Good shit. Alright, let's go. Come on. One more. Close this shit out, man.
Make a statement.
Let's go. Good shit, bro. That sniper shit was crazy, bro.
Yeah, the Toronto series, I mean, I feel like this is a very important series. Just to start off with the team, like I feel like especially we have like some confidence players, so like just making sure we got the first one was going to be huge. And I feel like we started out the gate really strong, like winning the Gava 2 by like almost 100 points, winning S&D versus them, the Desert Siege. It was a little close, but like they're a good S&D team, so like just getting any type of S&D win versus them is like important. And then we went to the game 3 control where we hadn't won a control in so long. We can't, for whatever reason, win that mode. And that just started the reverse sweep. We lost that map, and then I felt like personally, like I could just tell like the way we played after that was just way different. Like even though we went up 100 points in the Tuscan, like after we were up 100 points, we started playing like so stiff and like just lacking confidence in my opinion. And that's how they were able to come back. And in the game 5, even that too, like just some of the things that have plagued us all year long came back in that game 5, and yeah, we just weren't able to close the series at any point and lost that one, so it sucks.
That was like probably the most tragic match of the stage looking back at it in hindsight. We ended up getting reverse swept in that one, and like at the end of the stage looking back, if we had just won that match, like we start in winner's bracket, we have like a 10-point buffer. We're kind of sitting in a much different place, but unfortunately like we lost that one, and then we had to bounce back the very next day versus New York. And honestly, like we started off playing like really well in the Toronto series, and like we played pretty well throughout for the most part, but in the New York series that was probably like our sloppiest match of the stage, that of the Boston one. We didn't play very good at all in that one.
It's definitely kind of frustrating a little bit as like a team for them probably, my teammates, because they've already been going through the struggles a little bit, and this was definitely our bounce back matches. We could have won to get the CDO points that we need, but I'm still super confident in the whole team. I feel like in practice we have been playing really good, and every day we're finding our stride more and more.
I feel like we're in a bad spot. Obviously everything's still in our control, which is nice, but we're definitely not in a good spot. We're not safe by any means. We have to win some tough matches. We have to do well at the tournament. The pressure's on. There's nothing more to it. Like we're just in a bad spot. We got to make something happen.
Nah, I think just getting one on the board for us would be huge at this point. Truly, I think just getting over that hump of, just a tough match or just a match in general will, let us have a little bit more faith in the process and really get things rolling, get the momentum rolling. So, one big one could definitely change things for us. So, I'm hoping to do everything we can and what I can. So, yeah, it's time.
LAG do flip the spawn, so just in case they can't win here, they can also close it out at P3, but Atlanta Faze, they gotta go. LAG trying to do it right now.
We're trying to do it at this moment. Here comes Abizi. He eventually gets found out as well. 2 players at ear's distance are going to be Atlanta, but they continue to fall. They continue to fall by the wayside, but it's Celium who comes away with 2 of his own, keeps the game alive for the moment. Can Slasher go big? Can Slasher go big? He's got 1. He's got 2. His teammates have got the 3rd. Simple fall. A few more points needed, and LAG are going to come away with the upset.
Go, bro. Good win. Good win. Just keep it calm. Good shit. Yeah. Whole P5, we started a whole kill, bro. Good job. We didn't get a whole kill, bro. I know. We just kept hitting hills.
Hey, good shit, though. That was confident.
That's a huge fucking win. Good job.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Good job.
Good win. That was so much.
Someone's gonna have to do interviews, so get ready to check the Discord.
Obviously, like, a lot of those maps were amazing. Good lord, bro. That second map was bad.
They want you also.
We literally should have won 10-0.
Wait, no.
We should have 10-0'd the rounds.
Oh, that's
it was bad, dude.
Yeah, I know. Wait, no, that last round, I watched
from that last map. No, yeah, I mean.
Wait, that last round?
Wait, any map we play, we have to just keep learning.
Yeah. No, I'm saying just like, those are like stuff that you can't practice. It's like in-game keeping composure.
No, we did a lot of things amazing that series. Like,
no, I started fucking trolling on that P5.
Good stuff though. Good shit. We got the dub. Yeah, that was a big fucking win.
I mean, it felt great. I feel like that was huge for us. I feel like it was a win that we needed for like confidence sake too. And then like the 10 points too is massive because then it put ourselves from, instead of a 1-game gap between 8th and 9th, it put us in a 2-game gap, which is a huge little buffer. And then like you said too, against Faze, it's like the best team in the league, so it just shows that we're capable of beating like pretty much anyone. And even for myself personally, like that was a big series for me. Like I kind of took over that series at like a 1.5 or something like that. Was absolutely frying. So it just felt good to win that one.
Beating Faze was just like really good for us. The 10 points we definitely needed going into this major and even for champs, because beating Faze actually gave us a chance at winners bracket for the next major. So it was really good that we beat them.
Basically after the match, we were just excited. We were ready to play Boston, felt like we were going to win that one, and just started game planning for that and figuring out what we wanted to do veto-wise and like which maps we're going to play. Did a little research on them, tried to get some tendencies for search. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Our next match, like the 4th match of the stage, was versus Boston, and that was kind of like another really disappointing moment of the stage, like I mentioned with the New York match, just on the sense of how sloppy that we played it. Like we really kind of threw away everything that was bringing us success, and like in the matches, the match versus Faze and in our practice and stuff like that, and kind of just threw the game plan out the window, which was kind of going back to our issue of that we've had like throughout this whole season. I think it bit us in the ass at like multiple points, and it definitely did in stage 4 when it kind of mattered the most. So
I think losing that Boston series, like we just in the same spot we were after the Faze match. We didn't move up in the standings at all. I feel like the people below us are closing the gap. Like New York won again. Minnesota and Florida still have a game to go against Paris, so they're probably going to win that and close the gap. I just think that was a big mishap on our part. The Boston and the Toronto series are big time. If we just won one of those, I feel like we would have basically put away qualifying for champs, barring New York winning the event, which I don't think is going to happen on land. So I mean, it sucks, but we still have everything in our control. We just got to go out there and win the London match, because I think if we do, we'll start probably in winners. We'll win that 2-3 tiebreaker, and then probably be going to champs, because I think that'll be a 35-point gap between us and New York, and I don't see Minnesota or Florida kicking up too much unless they prove me wrong this weekend.
Now with 30 seconds remaining on the clock, it all comes down to this. Afro sliding in, breaks another set of ankles. It's Spark once again. Slasher though, he's made his way over towards B. Less than 20 to play with. Can he double back in time and get this one before they get the plant? I do not know. Chance. Zero may have him lined up. Here we go. Slasher's there, makes it a 1v1. Oh my God, what a search. The Ravens clutch it up in the end. And the headset of Slasher hit his shoulders harder than the snap-on from Zero. Wow, what a series.
Our last qualifying match of Stage 4 was definitely one of the more interesting ones of the stage. We played London and we were 1-3 at the time. That match was basically a must win. If we won that, we got 10 points, which were crucial at that time. It kept us in the top 8 going into the major. And then also, if we went 2-3, we had really good odds of winning the tiebreaker to get one of the last winners bracket spots. So we played it pretty well, but just made a couple too many mistakes. So we dropped the first map, then we dropped the second map. We'd go down 0-2, and it's things are not looking great. But at the end of the day, everyone knew what the situation was going to that match. It doesn't matter if we got on 0-2. We have to put everything we have into this match to try to put ourselves in a much better spot going to the final tournament. So after map 3, we came out. London was not very good at control at all this stage. We kind of smoked them in the control, so we brought the series back to 1-2. And then after that third map, we had finally caught some momentum. We felt okay, now we're playing like we should. We were feeling good going to the fourth map. And then basically we were hit with I don't remember exactly how long it was, but it was an hour and a half delay. Hour and a half, around there.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. LAG versus London Royal Ravens. We are still here. We are still getting these lobbies up and running, but as you can see, the headsets are back on and we should be hot to trot momentarily. Take a page out of Gizmo's book, put on a sweet track, enjoy yourselves the soothing sounds of Skrr, and we will get into this matchup ASAP. We can only imagine what is going through the minds of these professional players right now. Again, for the Ravens, a very different look. For the LA Guerrillas, it is pure stress, son. Miles and Chance are still here, and we're still our shirts open and our sunglasses on indoors. We're on a mission from God.
It was like a marathon of a day. It was not a 5-game series. You were dealing with hour-long delays, just sitting at our desk. I eventually started standing up and just pacing around to stay I don't know, energized or something. It was a crazy day, and tough to stay mentally in it, I would say. There's nothing we were really doing. It was just server delays. We kept joining the lobby trying to get the game started, but the game just wouldn't start. So we were kind of just hanging out, messing around, waiting for an hour and a half for the next map to start. So there's nothing we were really doing except sitting there and waiting. There was no ETA, no nothing. Just we're just confused, to be honest, because the servers the game won't start. They're working on stuff in the back end, and that's all we heard.
It was super annoying for both teams, us and Royal Ravens, because they went up 2-0 and then we started having issues. So I'm sure for them it was probably annoying. Even for us too, it felt like our momentum was getting killed just a little bit. But I knew in my head that the other team is they are definitely tripping about this delay, and I knew that if we just stay calm and we aren't getting irritated about it, that we would be fine. And just we kept that momentum going.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the game. Let's get it. Already, we've got LAG in the first. Hardpoint time ticking in favor. Here comes the potential break from the Ravens. It's been a long time coming, ladies and germs, but now we are hot to trot.
After that long delay, I feel like everyone was playing kind of bad in a sense. Both teams were kind of off because I don't know. Once you sit there for an hour and a half, it's tough to like play your A game.
To be honest, it's probably a map we had no business winning. Like the guys clutched up like crazy with like, I don't remember exactly, like 100 to 20 point swing on the last couple of hills, and like Travis or Neptune popped like a 3-piece on the P1 basically in a 1v3 scenario to like save the game.
So being down 220 to 143 on that Berlin hardpoint, honestly, for me, I didn't even think about the score. I just knew that like if we're still in the game, like we always have a chance no matter what. Like I know that with our team, like we're capable of that at any moment, of just shutting down the game, bringing it back, or even closing it out. Like I just know we're always capable of that. And going into the last P1, I honestly was in war. Like I didn't even realize that all my teammates were dying around me. I definitely knew like some of my teammates were, but I did not know I was the only guy alive. Like it was pretty crazy in the moment. And I was just in flow. Like I was just trying to win every gunfight I could. Like I was trying to like save us, and it ended up working out.
They will put themselves in a remarkable spot going into the final hardpoint.
I mean, you at least force it to New and Neptune. Well, he finds this sneaky player and Nasty, but unfortunately right now, he is somewhat unsupported, so he's doing his best job to take his time and look at the flank coming through. Number 5-0, he might be waiting for the long pinch on this play. 3 players have gone past. Nobody's picked this up yet for the moment, and his teammates are winning the gunfight, so he actually says, screw that, I'm going for the spawn kills. Makes the read, there's the first, but in the meantime, Neptune still alive in the hill. Neptune has picked up 3, being the hero for the squad. LAG still in this one.
I'm trying to hold deep then. I need him outer.
One shot dead.
Another
one out, left side.
Watch my outer.
Left side, Nasty. He might go set you, I don't know.
He might flank Tyler.
He's on. I'll
he could come in on me. I have deep. I have
outer.
He's in there. Stay down, Skyler.
Yeah, I'm making him push.
I have your glass, Skyler. Yeah, watch my glass now. I have outer. I have your glass. Outer door and shoulder. One shot outer.
Come the Ravens. That broke through the front, all brought down. One player on the side door. Taken care of again. Nasty's in. Nasty's done. Neptune and the LAG.
Let's fucking go!
Let's
fucking go! Let's fucking go, bro! Let's go!
Fucking breakers!
Just fucking go, bro!
Oh my god, I wish I could scream at their dumbass teams right now. Holy fuck. Let's go.
Man, fuck 1,000, man. We're
fucking winning.
They just fucking broke. They fucking shit out here. Holy shit, they just broke. They just fucking broke.
That P1 was crazy. Like I wish they had his POV the whole time, but just like his comms, I could tell that like somehow he didn't die, and that honestly he won us that fourth map, the second hardpoint. He won us that for sure. I think that might have been like a confidence. Like it killed their confidence going into map 5 a little bit more because they're not that good at Tuscan S&D, and like they just came back on like that. So I felt like we had like a big edge going into map 5.
I was just happy to extend the series to game 5 because I knew like if we made it to game 5, once you're down 2-0, if you make it to game 5, usually you win. And I'm really confident in S&D. So yeah.
Yeah, so that win, it felt really good for like me and the squad because it definitely gave us more of a chance of like potentially qualifying for champs and that winners bracket that we needed at Major 4. So it was just honestly a confidence boost because for me, like I was able to like clutch the ending of the map 4, and it just gave me a lot of confidence after that.
We played Tuscan S&D last map, and it was just a clean map win. So we were able to pull off a reverse sweep with basically like, it was probably the longest best of 5 series that there's been. It was, I think, right on the 4-hour mark. So it was really tough circumstances and a match that we absolutely had to win. And we kind of did everything we needed to do. So we felt pretty good going to that. We knew if we went 2 and 3, then we had a lot of things that could probably go our way for us to get the tiebreaker spot. I think the 2 biggest things were if Optic beat Toronto in the map 5, then we would have been in winners locked. Or if New York would have beat 100 Thieves in the last match of that day, then we would have been in winners bracket locked. And unfortunately, neither of those things happened. So we ended up kind of holding up our side of the bargain, obviously, and like you can't ever just be in a situation where you're relying on other teams to bail you out. So after that, we're kind of just looking back at the matches that we played previously, 2 matches that we just threw away playing incredibly sloppy, and then the first match versus Toronto where we got reverse swept. And that's kind of just like a super bitter pill for everyone to swallow, knowing that we could have like so much, like we could have put ourselves in such a better position going into the final major. But at the end of the day, like the situation was what it was. We knew we were gonna be starting losers. We knew that we were gonna have to make somewhat of a run to get points because we knew Minnesota, Florida, New York, Thieves, Ultra, all these bubble teams, they're all starting in winners bracket. So we knew like we had a really tough task ahead of us, but we, at the end of the day, like we were confident in how we were playing as a team. So we went into that tournament kind of with the thought process of like, we're just gonna take this one match at a time and we're gonna kind of put it together 10 points by 10 points and we're gonna build up like that buffer. That was kind of where we were at going into the major. It wasn't great. There was some like good moments of stage 4, but all in all, it was kind of just more inconsistency. And we didn't really have any points to lose at that point. So that's obviously not the time to be inconsistent.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New York, where the city never sleeps, and rightfully so. With champs around the corner, we're all looking at Brooklyn. We're in the big leagues now, baby. Here at Major 4, excuses mean exactly nothing, and we don't care because only losers make them. But speaking of which, today is one of my favorite days. It's Elimination Day, as we finally take a look at the loser side of the bracket, where we hold not one, not two, but 3 major winners this year, and they battling for their lives. But it's not just about that, but it's the threshold. It's the race to go to champs. This is their very last chance.
Dude, it's not just that there are teams that are going to get knocked out. They're going to teams that have their year ended here on this main stage in New York. So it's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be painful for certain teams, and well, for some fans, it might be painful as well.
Like going into that first match, I was like, okay, this is like a good first match for us, especially since we just beat them in the fashion that we did, in the circumstances, all that. We play them first and like get the momentum going off of that. I was really excited to play London first round, just because they're a good team. They're ranked pretty good too. It was a good match.
No Child comes in though. Sasha will find another first bullet of his own. Gizmo will fall for V3, for V2. Sasha doesn't slow down.
Sasha's going to get it. Afro trying to get one back. This is his first kill of it. He goes out towards you. Q gets it. Zero goes down. And LAG dump the Ravens out of the major. The #1 seed has fallen back to back. And the Guerrillas keep hopes alive here in New York.
It was really cool being able to just win our first LAN match together, especially being Map 5, because the whole crowd was getting pretty hyped, and even my teammates like Chris, he was getting like super hyped, and it was a lot of energy, and it was just really fun being able to play again on LAN.
I was feeling good about that because that would put ourselves in the spot to be in a good position. I feel like we only had to win one more, or like maybe 2, and we'd be in. So yeah, I was feeling good after that.
Going into that first match of our losers run, we're like, okay, like if this is, if we're gonna do this, it's one match at a time, and this is where it starts. We know we can beat this team. We've done it multiple times in the past, so let's go out there and let's take care of business. And like, fortunately, we were able to, and we were able to get 10 points on that day. But the bad part of that was that multiple other bubble teams won their winners round 1, so they got 20 points versus our 10. So basically, from the onset of the tournament, we knew that we had it was an uphill battle. We were gonna have to like really pull off something special again to be able to make it to champs. And I think in the back of everyone's mind, to some extent, it was like, damn, this is not the situation that we should ever even have been in. But at the same time, it was the situation that we were in at that point in time. So that's just where all the focus was, just one match at a time, trying to get as many points as we could.
Whoa, they had him stashed.
Out there, then you did. Oh yeah, we go to the right and then y'all go to the left. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You tell I gotta deal with that optic, bro.
We're gonna win this tournament.
Obviously, like, Faze isn't a team you really want to play early in losers bracket, but at the same time, it's like, if you want to win a tournament, if you want to go far in a tournament, if you want to be the best team, like, you just have to beat whoever's in front of you. Like, you can't really pray you get lucky brackets here and there. You just have to, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. And at that point in time, we had beat Faze more than they had beat us this season going into that match. So we knew we were capable of it. We had done it before. We knew we could do it again. But I mean, Faze is an incredible team. Like, every time you play them, you have to bring it 100%. And if you don't bring it 100%, you're probably not going to win, because they're a great team. That's just how it is. But yeah, coming into that first map versus them, we played it okay, but it was kind of just another one of those examples of, even though we weren't playing it terrible, there was just a couple things we didn't capitalize on nearly as much as we could have, and we just like let them basically be able to get back into the game off a situation that they probably shouldn't have been able to. And there was a couple of those just throughout the map, a couple of things that could have gone a little bit differently. So ultimately we lose like a close map 1. But then after that, like, even though everyone's obviously, like, the eyes are still on the prize, everyone's still locked in completely. After that map 1, everything felt like a little bit more deflated.
I could just tell that we weren't playing with like confidence. I mean, we weren't sticking to the game plan either, but like I said, it's like super 50-50 if we do that anyways. But you could just tell, like, the vibe is like, we didn't have the confidence that we could beat them, I think, after that first map as a team. So yeah, they just kind of steamrolled after that one.
The S&D, I feel like we got the momentum back for a second, but then we just like didn't like capitalize on what we were doing. Like, we just played stagnant, and it felt like the S&D, like, it was in our control too. And if we would have won that map 1-1, like, the control, like, we might have like played it a little differently instead of going down 2-0.
We weren't able to like bring it back in the S&D, so anytime you go down 0-2 versus a really good team, your back's up against the wall to the fullest extent at that point. It is what it is. We just have to battle back one map at a time, and I mean, we just weren't able to do it.
That series was just like a shit show. And then the Tuscan Control, they had like the fastest offensive round ever.
All right, so they hold, and it is a 9-7 start for Sem. And yeah, you kind of see it there with Arcides too. Once they got through that line, they had to deal with him.
Sem, right for B, right away.
Going fast, getting on it. They are going to stack right onto the point. They found 2 kills now. How much damage they're able to get done? They spread out now. They're worried about the nades that are going to be coming in, trying to split and just survive what they can. 2 parts done. That is a massive opening here on a Faze. Now BZ going to surge forward. No. The snapback from the Tiny Tears. Is Sip able to open it up. A centimeter to go. They're cutting him down, and that is the first point done. And it does not get a lot more clinical than that.
That was unbelievable from Atlanta Faze. That just might be the moment. That might be the series right from the get-go. Everyone is slaying on the map. That is 10 in a row as a team, make it 11. Spark going to respond. It's going to take a miracle to hold on to A, but they have to get in. They have to get in. Neptune finds one, but again, it's Cell. It's Arcides. Atlanta Faze on fire right now. Offense, perfection in round number 2.
Right after the game ended, like, scoreboard comes up, I was just thinking, like, there's no way. Like, I'm still thinking that, but now that I'm thinking about it, it just feels like, oh, we beat them to win the major, and then they take us out of the season. That's just like, I did not want that to happen. Did not. I was just really sad, honestly, after we lost. They didn't make champs, you know? That was like my main goal once I got put into the starting roster for the first time and the second time, but that was like my main goal, make champs. I always wanted to play there. Just sucks it ended like that. Like, I just feel like we were on pace to do special things. Just wish it could have worked out differently.
Wait 15 seconds between being sad. It's okay to feel sad. It fucking sucks. It's the fucking worst. But as much as it sucks, just you should all feel individually very proud for the effort that you put in. You didn't get where you wanted. It didn't come together as a team. But I truly believe, and I know that each of you believe, that you gave it your best. And sometimes it doesn't come together. That's all you can really ask for out of each other. And I just hope you know that in each individual situation that you were asked to perform, you guys did. It doesn't come together always. Fucking sucks. You guys are a way better team than the situation you're in. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't put it on you. It's none of you individually. It's all of you together. As much as that doesn't make it better, you just gotta go with it and keep doing you. I don't know. I couldn't ask for more from you guys. Truly. Genuinely. I'm not trying to give a speech, but I'm just saying, it's not you. Every single person is saying it's me, or it's someone else, or it's whatever. Everyone gave their all, no matter whether everyone else sees it or not. We go again. Yeah, we go again.
I mean, yeah, it was just sad that we weren't making champs, but like, I don't know. At the end of the day, we didn't really deserve to go. We only had the good major 2. I'm still kind of processing it, to be honest. I feel like it's weird, to be honest, because I've qualified for 9 years in a row now or something. When you put that much work into something and you fall short, it sucks. I mean, that's literally the only way to put it. And yeah, just disappointing the way the whole season went.
I think for the talent that we had on the team this year, and for like the effort that they put in, the work that we put in as a team, and kind of the glimpses of like excellence that we saw at certain points, obviously not nearly often enough, but at certain points it was there. So to know what we were capable of, and now being in the situation where we won a major this year and we're not going to be we're not even going to be at playoffs at the end of the year. That's like I said, it's a super tough pill to swallow. I think in everyone's mind, or at least in my mind, I would just speak for myself, I think the failure of not even being at playoffs, losing playoffs, but let alone not even being at playoffs, to me that outweighs the success of any major win prior to that. I think it's kind of hard to feel like we had a successful year this year with how it ended, even though in some regards we obviously did. It was a step in the right direction, but it's not where anyone involved with the team wanted the season to end, obviously. So it's kind of a tough pill to swallow, but it's the bed we made for ourselves. So now it's where we have to lay for the rest of the offseason, and then hopefully next year we can kind of come out and be more consistent throughout. Obviously there's going to be discussions to be had going into this offseason. I think every team kind of approaches it that way. Even the team's not so sure if they want to make a change. You still have to kind of see what pieces are on the board, what pieces are on the board, and kind of where everything lies. And from there, it's just figuring out what we can do to put this team and this organization in the best spot going forward into next season to become a championship team.
Yeah, even though this year may have been like a roller coaster, there's many like highlights for me personally. Coming into this team, I didn't really have many relationships with a couple of these players that we were bringing on to this team. For example, Asim, I mean, you could see why the community loves the kid. The kid is so like down to earth. He's extremely nice, hardworking. The relationship I built with him was a highlight for me. Obviously winning stage 2, I think that's the highlight for the team in general. I mean, just that winning feeling after 2 to 3 seasons. Especially the story too, Cinderella's story of bringing Chris last minute. You can't really write that script any better.
Major 2 is definitely the best part of my career so far in general. So yeah, for this season, Major 2 is definitely the peak. But yeah, for 2022 and for my career as of right now, Major 2 is definitely the highest point, like the best part of my life so far in COD. So
The easiest answer is the Major 2 run. I feel like you couldn't write it any better than that. And people are gonna look back on it later and throw like shade on it because of the Volk or anything like that. But if you actually look at the event and look what we were doing in S&D, we didn't run the Volk in S&D. I'm pretty sure we had a losing record on maps where we used the Volk. I personally didn't record a single kill with the Volk. So I feel like people are trying to discredit it. But if you actually look at what we did in the S&D run we went on, that was a freaking like masterclass performance of S&D. I don't know if that'll ever be replicated. So I think that weekend for sure was the highlight of the year for us.
Undeniably, the highlight for everyone involved with the team is going to be Major 2 when we're just talking about kind of like the matches we played and the results we had. That's just a clear-cut highlight. But to me, I would say just my favorite part of working with this team this year and working with these guys is just like I haven't been a part of a team in quite a while or had like a roster of players that wanted to get better and wanted to put the time in and were willing to do what they needed to do to succeed. And like that makes it all the more unfortunate that obviously it never really panned out the way we wanted. But I feel confident in saying that like we're putting in the work like every step of the way this season and kind of just getting to see how these different guys operate, like getting to see how Sim was in the team and Austin obviously as a leader and Kyler as like Kyler's like a one-of-a-kind unique player. So getting like the experience or getting the opportunity to work with him again, that was like a very positive experience. And really, I could say positive things about all the players we had this year. Like Pierce, early on, was such an incredible player for us. Like there are obviously some tough cards dealt for him this year and some tough situations to deal with pertaining to the roster with things that were out of people's hands. But yeah, bringing Chris back into the roster after how our first year with him went, and then seeing him being a major MVP under the insane circumstances that he was. There's a lot that I'll look back on in hindsight, or further down the road, I'll look back on it and I'll be happy with it. But yeah, obviously in this moment, not being at champs, it's hard to focus on much more other than that. But obviously with enough time between it and once kind of the next season's underway and we're in the full swing of that, definitely throughout this offseason, that's going to be, I think, in the back of all of our minds, not wanting to let that happen again, not wanting to be in the same situation again. So I think that's kind of where I'm personally at heading into the offseason.
It was a long season, but, just being here every day, I feel like everyone on each team, really gave their best to try and make something happen. It doesn't always go as expected. But, I just want to give them thanks for that, for everyone on the team, really. And thanks to people who supported us. I really appreciate y'all, for real. And that's really it. Thank you guys.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that is still supporting even now, even though our season's over. I'm sorry that the results weren't good and we couldn't make champs happen. Next year, I promise, will be different. Just thank you to everybody after the major, after like Major 2 and Major 4. Just with the kind words, even the hate. At least you're typing. At least you're typing to me. Just thank you all. Thank you to my family, my girlfriend, her family, her mom, Sophie, my mom, my sisters, my dad, my dog, my cat. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Next year will be different for sure. Sorry, once again. It's just, I did not want this year to end this way, but I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
As always, thank you for the support. Sorry we weren't able to finish out stronger, but at least we got one on the board. That's the first one for that LAG organization. And yeah, hopefully we come back next year stronger. You already know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come back and be a beast again. So yeah, I'll see you then.
Okay, I think that's it for me.
All right.